cafe anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hey, my name is Mike Matthews. We're in Podcastro Valentino today, where it's oh so green because we've had a lot of rain.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And Californians are looking at each other going, wow, there has been so much rain. And I don't know if I'm your friend because I'm a hostile Californian. And I'll take you and throw you through a glass window. That's what they say in California.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Because we're so violent. I listened to a little bit of news today as I was getting ready for work.
Mike's
And you know what I decided?
Daily
That was useless.
Podcast.
That whole thing was useless. The whole news thing. That didn't do anything for me. Because I heard a bunch of outrageous things that Trump said, and I went, wait, no, I don't need that, because that's what I've been hearing for, 2 years now? 3? And I don't want no. And it doesn't do any good, is all I'm saying. It doesn't do any, and none of it does any good. That's what we learned from the whole Mueller thing last week. It doesn't do us any good. Just move on. Let's go to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and applaud her for yelling at someone for saying something ultra mean about Republicans. That's not helpful. She said something to that effect. And that's right. That's like what McCain did. Remember when John McCain was debating and competing for the presidency against Obama? And a woman got up and said, you know, that Barack Obama is a Muslim. And no, wait, what did she say? That he wasn't born here in America? I don't know. She said something outrageous, and John McCain stopped her and corrected her. And we need more of that. Not that necessarily our president does that a whole heck of a lot, but we need it. Hey, I might have a guest at some point today in the show.
And here's today's podcast picture.
But I want to tell you that today's podcast picture has my good friend Basil the Boxer, and I am just so excited because I can walk with him again. I haven't walked with him for a couple of months because it was just he can't walk. His back legs don't hold him up. So I got this thing through Amazon called a harness, a dog harness. There's a myriad of makers of dog harnesses. And this sort of thing, dogs lose control of their back legs a lot. And this is helping Basil walk. We walked quite a bit this past week, and it was so much fun. So you'll see that picture of me holding my dog up and saying, hey, he's getting a little help from his friend. And in return, I'm getting a little bit of nicer biceps. Thank you, Basil, for my nice biceps. It's helping me work out, and that's the important thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a blank piece of paper today. I have absolutely no topics. This show is going completely al fresco. If al fresco means without paper, I'm nothing. I wanted to do a podcast yesterday, but it seemed work sucked the life out of me, and I couldn't. It just said, no, Mike, you can't go. Life gone. Just okay, I'm going to walk to Bart, get on Bart. I'm going to take Bart to Hayward and get on a bus and go home. Actually, it wasn't that bad. Here's the thing, though, is, the Hayward BART station, for one, the smell is pot. Just realize that if you ever smell marijuana wherever you are, you've just smelled the Hayward BART station. Just, there's no other fragrances. And the emergency exit is just a suggestion. People walk in and out of that thing, thus not paying for their ticket to get on BART. Just in and out, just walking in and out. I've seen some weird things at the Hayward BART. Let me just sum up. And this is probably true of most BART stations. That being Bay Area Rapid Transit, that's our, if you're in Atlanta, it's MARTA. If you're in, what's it in Portland? I forgot the name of it in Portland. Oh, well, anywho, the fast rail system. And it's just pandemonium at the Hayward BART station because the people just walk in and out of the emergency exit. They're not supposed to use that to just walk in and not pay or walk out and not pay because you have to pay when you leave. And it's right next to the booth where I have talked about before how useful the people in the BART booths are. They really know nothing. I don't think they even realize they're at a BART station sometimes. They don't do anything if there's any craziness going on. I think they will call the police, but you could do that on your cell phone. So what's the point of that? And people are walking in and out right in front of the booth through the emergency door. However, lately, as I have been riding the BART quite a bit lately, I have noticed more and more police people have been shown up at the Hayward BART station. And they are detaining people that they catch going through the emergency door. And my lovely lady friend has told me that they are cracking down on it. But it's like, why do you have this emergency door that is so just easily accessible? I understand that if there's an emergency, we need an easily accessible door, but maybe, I don't know. I think I've just answered my own question, but still. Also, lately I've seen at the Fremont BART station, I'm walking past one of the guys in the booth, and he's talking to someone, and he goes, "Oh yeah, when I got here this morning, there was blood all over the place." That's not the thing you want to hear as you're getting in and on to the BART. No. Also, I've seen people with their very tall German Shepherds. I saw this one guy with a tall German Shepherd. He basically jumped over a la what many New Yorkers do when they don't pay for the getting on the subway. They jump over the turnstile thingy. That's what he did. The dog, he is trained to walk under the turnstile. So he and the dog go through and go up to the BART platform. Now, dogs are not allowed on BART unless they are in a containing device or if they're service dogs, as far as I understand. But there's a bunch of BART lore for you. I could go on and on about BART things lately, but that's, I know, not the most exciting thing for you. I just want to tell you, though, I think BART is it can be an amazing thing. When I used to come up to the Bay Area and visit, back when I wasn't living here, as we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcaster Valley, I was in awe of BART. And I thought, oh, this works pretty good. But as I've been here now for 10 years, I've seen more and more people do awful things on BART, stink up BART, just make it a unpleasant experience all in all. And my lovely lady friend was riding it last night, and she said a guy... Well, first off, she was in it was just her and a guy in this BART car, which, I don't know. I think you need to be more travel with larger groups is what I'm saying. Don't be all alone in a BART at night, a BART car. As I understand, this is how she was telling the story. But a guy was sitting on the opposite end of the BART car, so she thought, oh, this is pretty safe. But then he ended up walking all the way up towards her and sat on the seat opposite on the other side of the aisle. And then said something to her about there's like a design on her bag, and then walked away, and she thinks she heard him say the B word. So, that's just the kind of uncouthness going on at BART. But it could probably be a good traveling device at some point again in the future. If we turn it around, I don't know. How much money do they have to take out of our taxes, or how much more do they have to tax us, or how much higher does the BART fare have to be before it becomes usable again? I don't know, but it's got a long way to go. And yes, they have a measure on just about every ballot that comes through the Bay Area, any election that comes through the Bay Area. And they ask us to vote on stuff and give them even more money. Is that going to solve the problem? That's the question that looms in the air. That if you're in Hayward, it smells like pot. because it's in the Bay Area. So what's my little bit of advice to help you, to spur you on in this world, to make it a better place? I don't know. Sometimes the brutal truth is not pretty, but I think from it we can try and move forward. Oh, my description of the last podcast was interesting. A cry for help is all you need. All you need is a cry for Rick Astley, or is it Erasure? You know, there is a Rick Astley song, cry for help is all I need. All I need is a cry for help. That's probably what I was referring to. And we talked about spring cleaning and about how that's like, that. Yes, that's good. That's a good thing, but it gets a little bit out of hand. But what I'm saying is we got to say hi to some people. Hello, Michael Mash, it's Madame Rootabega. When you come to Pleasanton, Podcastro Valentino. Ooh. Yeah, Pleasanton. So basically for my job, I visit Pleasanton once a week. A couple times, sometimes twice a week. And it's nice to be in Pleasanton. It's nice and green right now. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, I don't like the brutal truth. I'd rather you make it flowery and rose-colored glasses stuff.
Yeah, rose-colored glasses. Do you know that? Uh-huh. Okay, well, we can all deal with the brutal truth. It's just out there, and it can be hard to deal with at first, but in the end, we can manage. We can get through it. And hopefully make steps to better everything, right? To make it better. Make this a better place. And that's my episode 1824 for today. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer. Drop me a line. Let me know what your thoughts are in bettering the world, making it a better place. You can call me 336-MM-DAILY or email me MikesDailyPodcast1824Tiny. Ariel will mention that again at the end of the podcast. I heard someone complain about Captain Marvel today for about 20 minutes. That was fun. Of all the things to complain about in this world, they complained about a Marvel movie. Yes, Marvel movies suck. Occasionally, I go, oh, that was pretty good. I like the humorous ones. The Ant-Man, the last Thor movie was humorous. But yes, okay. And that's my end game for today's show. Next show, it'll be even better, possibly. We'll see. Find out. Come back next time. And more details about this show can be found with this woman talking right here. Oh, real quick. I mentioned this to my lovely lady friend yesterday, that on BART yesterday, there was a guy listening to his rap music on his smartphone, on tiny, ticky-tacky, tiny little smartphone speakers. It sounded awful. It was tinny. It was horrible. And I went, wait a minute. I've been alive long enough to remember the days when if you were going to listen to hip hop, you would have your freaking huge ass ghetto blaster, marvelous, massive radio on your shoulder. And you'd put 8,000 big batteries in there. The D-size batteries, right? The huge ones. And you'd stick them in there, and then you'd blast the friggin'... Everybody would be like, I can't talk. But at least that's the way that music was supposed to be heard. Not the teeny speakers. That's my complaint. I'm going to leave that BART complaint for you. And now, Ariel.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!